Hey guys, Synthetic here, and as you can see we're back in AOR, this time for the Silverstone Grand Prix or British Grand Prix. And here you're seeing the lap that should have been my fastest lap, but yeah, that was my lap basically ruined because of the dirty air. I lost, I think, at least 3/10 in that part alone, so I had to go for another lap, which wasn't ideal. But that was just one of the things that really went wrong in this race, but you will see that later as well. But in terms of setup, I used a very defensive setup. I knew there would be rain in the race, and so I chose a setup with less ballast, which would make me 3 or 4 tenths slower in quali. In training I did 26.4 and 26.6s around, but here due to the lower ballast I wasn't able to quite get near that. And here you can see we are already half a tenth down on my previous lap, which wasn't ideal, especially because I was already in P8 at that point of the quali, and I knew I had to push to get further up the grid. And yeah, really frustrating, because I knew I could have gone a lot quicker, and I really tried to avoid starting out of the top 10. And here you can see I managed quite a solid run through Maggots, Beckets and Chapel, and we are now just over a tenth up of over the previous lap I said. And now to the last corner complex, we managed to hit it quite solid, not perfect, but yeah, not too bad, and it got us P7 at that point, but at the end, as you can see, P8, which wasn't ideal. I didn't want to start that far down, but yeah, it is the way it is sometimes. And yeah, I think with the first lap I would have gone quicker. The half a tenth would at least give me P7 or P6, but yeah, not much I can do here. And now to the race. As you can see, we are starting on intermediates because it's raining, and let's see how our start is. And it seems to be not perfect. We get a little bit of wheel spin, and Clarky is on our left, so we have to give him a little bit of space, which we do. And yeah, here you can see I broke way too late, which is really unfortunate. I didn't mean to hit clay, which was really unfortunate, but it was not the only problem. Here you can see I got hit again, and we will see this in a replay later, because I got the steward's inquiry for that situation, which was basically nonsense, but you will see that in a later part in the video. And here you can see I went really wide, part of my understeery setup, but also part of the dirty air. And Alex wanted to go through my outside, so I left him a little bit of space. And yeah, not the start I would have wanted. I lost 3 positions, which was really unfortunate. And from there on in, I knew I had to fight, but I also knew my setup would work really, really well, and I noticed it quite quickly, because the lower ballast helped me really throughout the traction zones. And what you might be able to see is that my force feedback didn't really work in the first 3 or 4 laps, which was quite strange. And here you can see I think Clarky had a moment, and we sneak up on his inside, and we left him a little bit of space, and we don't run him off the track. And at least we are now in P10, which was just a little bit of an improvement. Sorry. And here you can see I tried a little bit a look of the inside, kind of these 50-50 moves, and yeah, there were quite a lot of fights here, and especially here I noticed my traction was really good. I managed to get a run, but I didn't really want to overtake because it's quite dangerous to drive 3 wide through this corner. So I waited, and here you can see they both would slow each other down a little bit. So I tried to get as much momentum as I could, and I was able to get it and get past Daniel. And also we had a run on Davidos, which allowed me to pass him. But here you can see we went all a little bit wide, and we will see a replay of this as well in just a second, because this was also quite a strange incident. But yeah, now we are in P9 behind Daniel. We're slowly making progress, which is not too bad. And I noticed my setup again would really work. The traction out of the corners was really good, and here you can see Daniel, they all think they were running 10 or 11 ballast, and they had quite a bit of oversteer, which helped me. And yeah, that was basically the second lap. And yeah, here you can see I had to evade, and I got a warning for overtaking out of the line, and to be honest, that was just bullshit, because what could have I done? I mean, he spun and I had to evade, otherwise I would have hit him. And here you can see a replay of the start. I basically got tagged in turn 3, I think it was, and now look at how many red arrows I had, and I didn't know at the point where I had to look for, so I looked for the 2 guys on the left, and I didn't expect overdiking to be on my right, and quite unfortunate, but I don't think I could have done anything more than just leave the guys on my left space. And here you can see the other incident. I went up the inside of Davidos, but here you can see there was slight bit of contact, which caused a little bit of understeer, and we both went off the track, which was really unfortunate. But I tried to give him the space, but there was so much understeer. And here you can see the third scene where Daniel lost it, and I basically had absolutely no way to go, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, it's the way it is. Sometimes you have this unlucky parts. Ollie had it earlier in the last races, and now it seems to be my case. But here you can see Clay had a little bit of oversteer, and we managed quite a solid run out of the Megas Beckett and Chapel complex, and we managed to go up on his inside and make the move stick. A few laps later we were behind Curly, and again we tried a little bit of a look of the inside, not a dive bomb or anything, but just a little look to put him off his line, and tried to get a little bit of better exit than him, and we managed it quite solid. He went defensive, but we weren't super aggressive, and now we are slowly diving up on his inside, and yeah, we made the move stick, which was very important to me because I had to get a gap of over 5 seconds, because I knew if I got back into the group which was behind me, there was no way I could have finished anywhere in points or at good points. And so we are now in lap 7 behind Chicken. The pace was looking really strong, especially in the second part. I think I was one of the fastest guys on track. And here you can see I got a warning again, which was not good, but we were able to get quite a solid run out of the corner, and yeah, we managed to get past Chicken, which was also quite important. And at this point we were able to push a lot more, use our wet setup to good effect, and drive fast laps. And here you can see how much time we were able to gain on Deagle. The pace was absolutely brilliant. The car felt so good. Not much oversteer, but not much understeer. It felt really good. And here you can see in lap 12 we were able to catch right up on his back. And here you can see the dirty air is quite powerful around this track. I got quite a lot of understeer through this part of the track. And in terms of strategy, I wasn't sure, because here you can see I lost 5/10 over the lap in dirty air, and my plan was just to stay out because I wanted to have a little bit better tires, and it seems that Deagle decided as well to stay out. Surprised me a little bit, so I had to brake a little harder to not hit him. But yeah, this was a really fun part of the race, because now you will see probably one of my best fights I've had so far. Here you can see we managed quite a solid run through the first corners. We again went for a little bit of a 50-50 move, and this time we're trying to stay around the outside, use our less ballast to help us here, get a lot of good traction out of the corner, which makes us faster on the straights. And Deagle is still up on his inside, so we have to leave him the space. And we are still side by side, which is quite incredible. And yeah, again side by side, and now we are able to make the move stick, which was really a lot of fun. We had to be very cautious, but it's not over. I went defensive here, and here it's quite difficult to overtake for him. So yeah, we managed to get I think P4 it was at this point, but here now you can see we went very cautious into the pits. But yeah, the penalty was really painful. It was just unnecessary, because there was absolutely nothing I could have done. So yeah, really unfortunate, but you can't have lucky races all the time, I guess. So yeah, I'm fine with having one bad race out of 6. And yeah, at this point we went out of the pits. We were again behind Chicken due to the penalty. And at this point I started to push to the absolute maximum I could. My pace really got faster and faster. And here you can see I was nearly a second up on my previous best lap. And even in dirty air I was able to set a really fast lap. Here you can see Ollie did I think 42.1, and Nadi did a 42.0, and we'll see what I did in just a second. But you have to keep in mind that I had dirty air, which made me slower through the second sector, and we were able to do a 41.8, which was 2/10 quicker compared to the top of the field. So pace was looking really good. And here you can see again a little bit of 50-50 move, just try to put him off the line. And this time we tried a cutback line, get a little bit better traction, which we managed to do quite solid. And here we are showing ourselves, and did a little bit of a dive, but I think he lifted a little bit. But again, we have to leave him the space. He was side by side with us. But here you can see something really strange. It doesn't look that horrible, but that actually caused damage on Chicken's car, which is really strange. And we'll see this in just a second. Here you can see the move again. We went for the inside again, leave the space, which is very important to me. But now I will slow the video a little bit down, and here you can see I had a little bit of oversteer, but this slight contact actually caused damage on Chicken's car, which is really strange in my opinion. And at this point I just tried to push as maximum as I could, but the gap was basically 5 seconds, and there was no point I could catch that amount of time. And here you can see I pushed one time too much and I got a penalty, which was fair enough. But at the end it was P5 and we even got P4 because Deagle had a 5-second stop-go penalty, which the game wasn't able to add to his number, so P4. And I'm quite happy with the result, considering what happened, and you can't expect to have that much luck in every race as I did earlier. And yeah, here you're seeing my last lap, and at the front Ollie was able to win the race ahead of Nari, so congratulations to both of them. They were also really quick. And yeah, that was basically the race. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next race as well. Goodbye.